Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a little bit of a nail haul and I'm going to get right into this with the items I picked up from the Dollar Tree. So anytime I go in the Dollar Tree, I am always looking for some type of storage containers to see what they've got. And I love these little round metal tins. Now I have the bigger ones and they are so super cool. And I love these because they're very versatile. You can store a lot of different items in these. These are great for crafts. These are good for gifting, and you can just do a lot with them. I like the way they're made. I love the finish on them. They have a nice little bit of a suction on the cap. You just have to give it a little bit of a pull, but they seal really well. I mean, you could even reinforce the seal on these if you're looking for a better seal. And y'all, they are just so super cute, okay? And I love getting 4 of those for a little bit over $1. Also, these little bitty organizer boxes are so cool as well because you could do a lot with these too. You could store a whole lot of different craft items in these. These are great gifts to give to somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of organization too. And they're good for odd and end pieces like charms and other things that you might not have enough room for storage. And so that's definitely a great buy. Now, this item kind of surprised me. I went down the nail aisle, which, y'all, I was going to film my whole like little trip to the Dollar Tree, but our Dollar Tree was in the middle of a whole lot going on and it was a hot mess. But they had these. I almost picked up a few, but I was like, I'll try one. And these are nice to have, like little extra dispensers, and really easy to label these too. Also, they did have a 20-piece package of the eyeshadow applicators, and these are really nice because you could use these for your chrome application, for some glitter application, aside from, just using them for eyeshadow. They're very versatile. You could do a lot with these. You can use these for cleanup, and you can throw these away and you're not spending a whole lot of money. But getting 20 of these for just a little over $1 was actually not very bad at all. Also, they had these wide board grinders from Diamond Cosmetics, which I've been wanting to try one of these bigger files for a while. And I don't know what the grit is in it. I know it's a heavy, coarse file for shaping, but, I've never used one of these. So I definitely am excited to test this out. I do take it out later and feel it, but, it's just a wide guess as to what the grit is on it. But this right here was super cool to see these in the Dollar Tree, these nail polish holders. And y'all, I do test this out with a lot of different bottles. I wanted to see what it would hold, how well it would grip on those, how versatile it was, if it's just going to hold one size or one shape of nail polish bottles. So I went ahead and started off with one of my 15 milliliter bottles. I wanted to see how well it was going to hold. And you guys, it was not coming out of there. Like, it was on lockdown in that nail polish holder. And that was a brand new bottle of gel polish, okay? And it definitely had a good grip on it. And I just played with this for a little bit. I literally wanted to test this with any shape and size bottle that I had really close. I wanted to see how it was going to do with the 15 milliliter bottles, if it was going to keep a hold of it. Hopefully you're not tilting your bottle upside down with the lid off of it. But yeah, it still was nice to see that it had that kind of grip to it. I also tested this with odd shaped bottles, like Born Pretties. These like here, they gripped onto them well. Anything that's going to fit in there, it's going to grip onto it really well unless it's too big for it. I even tried a mini bottle because I wanted to see, as small as the mini bottle was, if it was going to hold on to it. It did for the most part, but, look how little those bottles are. So it's definitely, going to slide out there eventually if you're holding it upside down. But I was playing with this, just to let you guys know, like, how well I thought this was going to hold on to a bottle for you, no matter what the shape and size was, and if I think this is worth buying. So if you like to use the nail polish holders and you want to pick one up, locally, you could always check out your Dollar Tree and see if they have them at your Dollar Tree, not having to wait for something to come through in the mail. But yeah, definitely was an interesting product to pick up at that type of location, and some of these stores are starting to really branch out to carrying such a variety of products, making it a lot more convenient for you to pick up certain items locally versus waiting on items to be shipped to you. And definitely about the same cost as you're going to get these at the cheapest place you can get them online. So if you're interested, definitely go check out your Dollar Tree and see if they have them. And they even had these. Now, I only picked up one color. They only had like two or three. I'm trying to remember back because it's been a little bit since I bought this stuff. And I went ahead and just picked up a gold. I was like, I just want to try these out and see how well, these work. And these are identical, the same ones you're going to get pretty much anywhere. And it's really, really pretty. Now, I don't use a whole lot of the nail tape like this because I like to, really get into my nail art and create all my own lines and everything. But these are definitely nice to have to do some quick nail designs. If you're looking for that type of finish, if you're new to nail art and you're, getting used to it or practicing, these definitely come in handy, just like nail stickers and stuff do. So it was cool to see this at the Dollar Tree. And I will tell y'all, heads up, if you do undo these, I have a whole bunch of these I've not had a chance to use yet. If you do undo those, make a little notch in the end. I knew to do that and I forgot to do it the first time, and I did have to go back and find that end, but I put it on there and picked it up to see if I went to go lay it down, if it would be easier to get a straight line, if it would, mess it up, and it came out perfectly. The line went on there perfectly straight across. I really wasn't worried about being perfect on the back because this was a swatch, but you do want to get those as close to the edge as possible and then seal those in with your top coat, definitely so they don't peel up on you. And you definitely want to make sure you cap it if you wrap it underneath the nail at all, just a little bit. That way it's going to keep it on the nail for a lot longer so it doesn't peel up that way either. And this stuff is super easy. You can do a quick, easy nail design with these. This stuff practically goes on for you. Like, it took no effort. And I think it is just so simple and pretty. Now, I did cut out the part of the video where I was searching for the end because I let it lay back down on the roll of nail tape, and it took me a little minute, okay? It took me a little minute to find it because it's tiny, okay? It's a little. And yeah, I finally found it. So I definitely made sure I left a little extra the second time. So when I got done putting the second line on the nail, I could go in and put my little loop so I wouldn't have to look for it again, and just went ahead and trimmed that all up. The top portion of it on one side went on just absolutely perfectly with like no effort. And it's a super quick and easy type of nail design. I mean, that's pretty by itself with just some gel polish under it. That is going to be good to go. Like, you don't have to have everything super extravagant, but you can see that's right up against the edge right there. So you definitely want to make sure that you get that sealed down really well. And now that I'm done doing that, I'm going to go in and add my little loop on there. That's going to make it so much easier to work with my roll of nail art tape if I want to do something with it again. And I like to use tweezers when I'm working with stuff that's adhesive like this. That way I make sure that I'm not messing the adhesive up by touching it with my fingers or my gloves. And it's so quick and easy. These types of tweezers are really handy to have. And look at that. Now I've got my little end on there. And then I thought I was putting it in the bag. It took a couple of tries to get it back in the bag because it looked like it was going to go in there and it did not. But finally I got it in there, right? And look at how that turned out. So I did go in to top coat that, and I wanted to try it with a shiny top coat and then a matte top coat because I wanted to see what the product was going to look like with a matte finish over it. So guys, I totally botched that on this because I went in and I did the shiny finish and I cured it in the lamp and came back and showed it to you guys. And then I went to go put the matte top coat on it, and I did that part off camera, and I put it in the lamp, and y'all, I totally forgot to show it to you guys. Totally forgot. So you guys did not get to see that matte finish, and it was so pretty, so I'm so sorry. So the next item I picked up was a piercing and scoring set, and I wanted to see how well these more affordable versions of these would do with a piercing on a nail design. Now, I'm not a big fan of it, but I do think that some of the designs look really cool, and you can come up with some pretty unique ideas for doing that. So I wanted to test this out. I definitely heated this up off camera and used a swatch stick. Definitely be careful. These are very sharp, and definitely do not play with fire. Always use fire under adult supervision. Okay. So be careful with that because they get really, really hot really quickly. And this worked really well. This cheap set actually did a very good job. I did heat it up a second time, just a little bit, just to get a nice, smooth, even a hole through the nail. Flipping it over, making sure it was going through all the way. I even went through from the bottom, just to mess with it for a second. But this was actually a really nice, affordable little set. You can use these piercing and scoring tools in different types of crafting. I don't know how well these would do through an overlay on the nails along with the artificial tip. I just wanted to test it on the swatch because they are really thick. So I don't know how well they would work doing them with that, but they definitely did go through the swatch stick really well. And then I cleaned it off with some 90% isopropyl alcohol to remove that residue that happened from heating it up as well as on the nail. It is a nice smooth surface. You may need to do a little bit of buffing around the edge of the hole that I created, but definitely really doesn't even need it. So that was a lot of fun to test those out for you guys, and definitely a nice affordable purchase if you're looking to try that design for yourself. So these, I know y'all have seen these. A lot of y'all have used these. I've never used these, okay? I never thought that they would work very well, but they had these beautiful glitters, okay? The glitters spoke to me because I love me some glitters, okay? So I decided to go ahead and grab these because I was like, I want the glitter that's in them anyway because they're really, really pretty mixes. But I went through and read the directions, and I played with a couple of these. These were interesting for a couple different reasons. One thing that was really, really funny about these is they all said that they were scented. And I was like, okay, I believe that. I believe some lacquer polish is going to smell like cherries. And don't stick polishes or anything up to your nose and be sniffing on them. But I did get it close enough to kind of see, kind of roundabout if there was any cherry scent to that. And absolutely no. Does not smell like cherries. The glitter does not smell like cherries. I don't know why it says cherry scented. That was the funniest thing. But this one had the prettiest glitter in there. Just a very, very lovely mix of pinks and golds. I was like, oh, I love that. I'm definitely going to use that glitter for something. So it was worth throwing the money away. Okay, it was worth it for that little bit of glitter. There's actually two of them actually that have the exact same glitter mix in them. So I got the package out to read over top of the directions on the top as well as the bottom and kind of looked it over. And then I realized something really funny. The bottom of it says raspberry, but the label at the top says cherry. So is it cherry, y'all, or is it raspberry? Like, come on now. Like, how do you mess that up? I don't even want to know. Don't even want to know. So I looked over it for a minute. It took a second to get that cap off. It did not want to come off. This one right here was just a straight up dud. So I was reading over the directions again. I was like, I had pushed on a little bit. Nothing was coming out. I was like, okay, there's nothing special to this. I was pushing on it a little bit, squeezing the heck out of it, and making sure the lid was on there tight. And I was like, this thing's got to be clogged up. There's something wrong with it. And, I fiddled with it for a minute and just squeezed the heck out of it. And then the next thing you know, I pushed down on it just a little bit and the thing just popped right in it. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, no, it didn't. And you were not going to get it back out. So I was just like, the heck with this. I'm just going to stick it over here. I'm just not even going to fool with it. And I picked that one up. I was like, no, I ain't going to touch the ones in the bag. So I went ahead and grabbed this other one out. I was like, I just wanted to see the polish come out of the end of it. This one also said it was cherry scented, and it definitely was nothing like cherries. This one was a lot stronger, to smell. I tested out one of the other ones, one of the pink ones that wasn't messed up, and it was nowhere near as strong. But I got excited, y'all. I got excited when it came out the end of that. I was like, yay! We've got motion, you know? We've got a nice little flow going. So I just went down the nail and made just some random squiggly lines. I just wanted to see what the consistency was like. And it reminded me, I swear, of puff paint because I used to mess with that stuff a lot. I still have some of that, actually, I think. And I did have some gold, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of that gold puff paint that we used to use, you know, a while back. And it was really pretty, though. It wasn't pretty in the container. Like, it looked a completely different color once you got it on the nail. And I put that down, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to try some dots. I want to see how well this works with some dots. And a lot easier to use a dotting tool, lacquer polish or gel polish or whatever. A lot easier to use a dotting tool because it definitely takes some finesse to get the exact same size and, you know, dot over and over again. You could do it with some practice, but, you know, I don't plan on practicing with these, so it really does not matter for me. But this color, though, was really pretty once it got on the nail with that background with the black swatch stick. It was actually a pretty gold, but this stuff dried really quickly, like super, super quick. And I had to maneuver it and kind of work at it a little bit to smooth it back out. But this is definitely a very fast drying nail polish. And like I said, this one was definitely pretty loud as far as the smell was concerned. But I don't use lacquer polishes a whole lot anymore, and the ones I do, I generally am really picky on the brand and the quality. You know, I don't buy a whole lot of lacquer polish in retail stores anymore, you know. But yeah, this was definitely an interesting one to pick up. But I thought the gold was pretty at the end of it all. I thought it was pretty. Would I put it on my nails? No. I definitely wouldn't. I can't speak to the quality or the safety of this brand of nail polish, but these were pretty interesting. But if you want to get the glitter, they definitely got some really pretty glitter in there. And while it was still wet, I don't even know why I wasted my glitter on it, but I was like, I'm going to sprinkle some glitter on this just because they're supposed to go together, right? So the glitter was pretty. It just, they really did not go together very well. It was kind of weird with the gold polish, with the weird hue to it with the glitter, but it was still kind of cute, you know. So if they, you know, for kids or somebody, you know, learning how to do some nail art, they could be definitely, you know, fun to play around with. Or you could do a full glitter nail. You could put a thin layer of the polish down and then the glitter, and then maybe put some polish over a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, you could definitely have some fun playing with it. But these were fun to pick up and just mess around with, and, you know, be able to keep them glitters. Definitely keep them glitters. But I have fun testing this out, you know. So there we go. That's how she's looking with her little glitters on there. And I got it and I was like, it needs a little bit more. It needs a little bit more. But y'all already know you can never have too much glitter. Okay. There was my little fun experiment for you guys, and it turned out really, really cute. So I was done fooling with this stuff, and I'm going to get all this cleaned up and out of the way. But definitely a very interesting little product. And I found it really funny that the labels were literally rubbing off of them without any effort. I was like, okay, time to get this out of the way. So it wasn't a bad little haul. I did find some useful items like the eyeshadow applicators, the little mini dispenser, the nail art tape. Those last two surprised me. And the scoring tools worked out really well. As far as the wide board grinder, I went ahead and opened it. This is nice and thick and well made, very sturdy. And it's definitely a very coarse grit. You're going to be able to take out some serious bulk with a file like this. So I can't wait to test this out on application and see how quickly this takes down some length for me. And also the nail polish holder was definitely a good find. So I'm going to get this stuff out of the way so we can move on to the next item I'm going to share with you guys that I just got. And this is from Amazon, and I am loving these, y'all. I've not had a chance to use them on my hands as of this video, but I cannot wait. Okay, so these are full cover tips. I had seen these on another YouTube channel a few different times, and the last time I saw them, I had been feeling like I wanted to test these out for myself. And the last time I saw them, I Am Biscuit was using them, and I was like, you know, hey, where'd you get those from? And she hooked me up with the link, so I went and checked them out, and I loved what the price point was and the quantity and all that fun stuff. So I went ahead and picked them up, and I'm glad I did because I'm loving these. Okay, I did find that my normal sizes were a little bit bigger, but that's okay because you can go down in a size, go up in a size, whatever. But the way these are made, these are going to be easy to customize the shape. They're going to be easy to file. But what I love more than anything is this structure. These are sturdy and stable. They're thick, but they're not too thick, but they are very well made. And that's amazing in any full cover tip or regular tip for extension, because you want some strength and stability in them. So this is a 600 piece set, 3XL, tapered square, no C curve, 12 different sizes, and that's amazing for under $11 because they're 15% off right now. They normally run $12.50. Now you can get the XXL tips in a coffin shape. Those are going to run you $12.50. They're a 600 piece set, no C curve as well. And they also have a 600 piece set of the square tips with no C curve, and those are going to run you under $11 as well. So even if you're not interested in the full cover tips, if you're interested in the other tips, definitely go over and check them out, because if the regular tips are made the same as these full cover tips are made, they are definitely going to be very good quality. And look how big that is. Oh my gosh, a 3XL just doesn't hit you till you put it on your fingers. Now I've worn XXL and 3XL before, but it's been a really long time, and I've used different tips, but these full cover tips in the 3XL are amazing. So I can't wait to wear these and do a video with these, do some nail designs, because I love that canvas. I love that length of a 3XL canvas is going to be a lot of fun to work with. So I did go through and keep testing my regular sizes, some alternate sizes and stuff to see what I thought about them. But if you guys are interested in these will be linked down below in the description section, so you guys can go and check these out for yourself. So next, we're going to move on to a few different items. The next item I got, if you're looking for a storage organizer, a basic one, this was around $4 actually at Walmart, just a little bit over $4, depending on your Walmart. But over in the craft section, they have these. And when I do find one that's a good price, I go ahead and pick it up because I like to have extra storage for different items. So they definitely come in handy. So definitely check out Walmart if you're looking for something local for storage. So next I have some more Amazon goodies to share with you guys. And these ones right here are really cool and really handy. I've had these before in the past, and they've gotten broken over time or lost over time. So it's been a long time. But these are really cool. This is a 3-pack of stainless steel 4-prong grabber tools. These little claw picker tools are amazing. They're great for tiny objects. These are great with helping out in the nail studio. These are also good with just regular crafts and stuff like that. So you can use these for a wide variety of purposes. People have been using these lately for ombre. You can pick up your little sponge pieces with them. Now, the type of sponge that I'm trying to pick up right there was not the type of sponge you want to be using with these. These are the triangular makeup sponges, but I had some sitting right there that I do use, and the sponges themselves work good, but the picker tool, it's like it's so smooth, it just kind of pops out of there. In a little bit, I will show you the right type of sponge to use with the picker tool. I didn't have any loose ones available. I had some replacement heads for a different ombre tool, but just to show you the difference. So I left this in the video to show you if it's big enough that you can get the little prongs into the material, it will pick it up and hold on to it. But if not, it will kind of pop out of there. So be mindful of the type of sponge material that you're using. But these are really handy because you can use these to pick up bigger stones and crystals and charms and stuff like that as well. unless it's too big. If it's too big, it can pop out of there. So remember, these are spring loaded. So when you go to pick these up, it's going to pull the claw back in. And if the product you're trying to pick up is really smooth, has a beveled edge, or it's too heavy, it can pop out of there. So definitely be careful and don't try to use it with anything super big. But as you can see, with the right type of sponge material, it's going to grab onto it. It's not going to let go of it very easily. So you get 3 of these for $9.99. You can get 3 of them in black for $10.99, or you can get a blue, gold, and silver set for $9.99 as well. So if you're interested, those will be linked down below because they can definitely come in handy. I just love them and they're easy to clean. So this next item I'm going to share with you guys was actually a supply purchase, but I decided to go ahead and share it because I had to film this portion. And in case any of you guys are interested in getting one of these, I wanted to make it easy for you to find one and the replacement cartridges as well. So there's different options. So I bought a Dymo LetraTag a long while back to do labeling. They're really handy for labeling your swatches or your storage containers, just anything that you want to label, and they're very, very affordable. And I had bought extra cartridges and I'd finally ran out at the exact same time. I was watching Biscuit on her channel, was messing with hers, and I was like, oh, I got the same one. I was like, where did you get your replacement cartridges? I was being a little lazy, right? And she hooked me up with the link, and I went and checked them out, and I was loving that price. So I went ahead and got the 4-pack of them. A 4-pack of these is going to run you about $12 for the replacement cartridges, and they last a good while. Like, I made a ton of labels just out of one cartridge, and so they're really, really nice to have. And the Dymo is actually really affordable too. You can get one right now for a little over $31 on Amazon, and I'm going to link that down below for you guys, as well as the replacement cartridges. I went ahead and tested to see how well they were going to print. They print out perfect the first time, and making sure that the backing on those has a really good adhesion to it. So if you guys are interested, it will be linked down below. If you want to get your label making on, definitely you want something affordable, you may want to check out the Dymo LetraTag. So this next item I'm going to share with you guys is actually an item that came off a recommendation from my girl Nene. And thank you, girl, because I am loving these. Okay, I'm flat out loving these. So I've used several different brands of lint-free wipes over time. And I kind of got stuck on Young Nails brand because I was really liking them. But I'll be honest, the last box of them I got, they just weren't it. They really weren't it. And they would break apart really easy. Also, they were leaving fibers on nails, and I was just not liking it. I kept finding random fibers, and it's like, it's time to find another brand, an affordable brand, and something that's not going to leave fibers or residue on the nails. And she had recommended these. She's been using these for a long while, and I can see why. So now I tested these wipes in several different ways to see how efficient and durable these were. I took one and pulled on it from several different angles as hard as I could. I wanted to see if it would break apart fibers, if it would tear. I put some swipe on it to see what the texture was going to feel like when it was wet. I tested these with a regular clear swatch stick. I wanted to see if the wipe would leave any kind of residue, any kind of fibers, or any kind of material on the swatch stick, and it did absolutely none of those. It left nothing on the swatch stick. So I decided to use a very pigmented gel polish. Now I have a gel polish, it's called First New Moon. It's a black gel polish from Medusa, and it's a very pigmented. It's a 1-coat coverage gel polish. And it also leaves that tacky layer on there of pigment. So I decided to go ahead and cover that swatch stick with the First New Moon and put it in the lamp so I could test this lint-free wipe over top of the gel polish to see how well it removed that. While I was waiting, I did put a few pumps of the swipe on it to see how absorbent they were. I wanted to see if it would hold all that liquid, and this thin little lint-free wipe held on to all that liquid with absolutely zero issues. So while that was in the lamp, I wanted to show you guys what the packaging looks like what the label on it looks like, what their claims are, and I agree with what they have to say about their lint-free wipes. They definitely were 100% lint-free. I've been using these since then, and they definitely are 100% lint-free, and they are superior to me to the regular lint-free wipes that I have been using. So now that my swatch stick is out of the lamp with that gel polish on it, just one coat, I could look and see that it was going to pull that layer off of the top of the nail. It dried beautifully and left absolutely no fibers, no residue. It was like no fuss whatsoever. So I'm absolutely loving that about it. Now, this set has 3 boxes of the lint-free wipes. It's 3-pack. And it also comes with the pump bottle if you need a pump dispenser, and it also comes with a holder. Now, the holder was neat. I don't know, how I feel about the holder 100%, because the holder's a lot wider than the lint-free wipes are, and they wouldn't even really sit in there side by side. But when I tested the holder, I was pleasantly surprised. So I started off with just one lint-free wipe. I wanted to see how it would go down into the dispenser. You do have to correct it and get some placement, and then I wanted to see how it would fit in the dispenser, because the lint-free wipes are a lot smaller than the opening at the bottom, and they do lay in there really, really well and pull out really easily. So I decided to go ahead and put a nice little stack of them in there and test pulling these out from the bottom to see if they would pull out other lint-free wipes. And to be honest, they don't grip to each other like that. So every once in a while, one would grab another one from over top of it, but for the most part, they pulled out individually. So there's 325 wipes in each box. This is $13.99 for 3 boxes of wipes, the pump dispenser, and the holder. So I will link that down below if you guys are interested in picking those up, and they do have some other options for those as well. So my next item we're going to be looking at is my order from Dreamtime Creations. So Dreamtime Creations carries Votino's products, and if you guys don't know, I love me some Matte It and some Shine It from Votino, as well as his brushes, his pigments, his inks. He's got a lot of amazing products, but apparently they have recently changed the formula of Shine It. It's not supposed to do what it used to do. I found this out after I had placed this order and picked up a replacement bottle, and I was being stingy with the coins, so I didn't get a refill bottle for the Shine It top coat. Now I wish I would have. So I don't know how long those are going to be in stock before those are reformulated as well. Also, I wanted to pick up his chrome base because I was pretty curious of that. And any of those products that I've been using from him work magically. So I knew his chrome base was going to work beautifully as well. So I went ahead and picked up a bottle of that. I went ahead and checked both my bottles for consistency, for odor, or any issues, and I wasn't finding any issues. Everything is just right on point like it always is. So I went ahead and put those aside so I can get into this box and get this last couple items out. I have a little nail lamp that he's been using, and I just happened to pop in to say hi, and I saw him using it, and I don't get a chance to really watch him anymore, but I do like to pop in and say hi. And I saw that little lamp. I was like, I got to get that. And they had these on the website for him, these little polish holders. And I was like, these would be really handy, to put polishes in, maybe even to store your little pigment containers. And if you have the lid sealed on there very well, you can even store these upside down so you can see the color of the pigment that you're going to pick up. So these are helpful to have in your drawers to store your polishes so they're standing upright, or like I said, the little containers of pigment powder. So this little lamp is super cute. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is not rechargeable. You do have to keep this plugged in, but this was very neat. I like the design for this, and of course, I love that rose gold. And I like the little clicky button. I played with that for a minute because I just like that clicky sound. It lets me know that it's working, okay, or that it's turning on and off. And so I went ahead and checked the instructions. I'm going to tell y'all right now, there is none. You are going to plug it up and it's going to work. And that's going to be about all the information you are going to get from that little instruction booklet or the box. There is like no information on there other than what it is, what the model is, and where it came from, and the one little disclaimer. That's about the only information that comes with this box, other than the specifications, of course, of the lamp. So it has a USB, and the end for this is the same as Android, and so I was like, that's pretty handy to have. So in case my little cable breaks, that's a good thing I'm an Android user, so I could just substitute a cord. So I turned it on to make sure it worked, and I decided to go with 24 karat gold, which is a very beautiful gel polish, to test this out, and just did a nice thin layer on a swatch stick. I wanted to see that it stayed on for 60 seconds, you know what I'm saying, because it doesn't say anything about that in the description, in the specifications, how long it works for, anything like that. So I held it under there literally for 60 seconds to see if it was going to shut off on its own, or if I was going to have to manually shut it off. And I kind of skipped through it a little bit for you guys. So 60 seconds later, I was getting ready to pull it out of there. I was like, this thing's not going to turn off. 60 seconds, bam, it turned off. So I went ahead and put on a second layer. I wanted to see how well it was going to cure too. It cured that first layer perfect. And so, yeah, you already know it's going to cure the second layer just the same, but I went ahead and tested it anyway. And this gel polish does cure with a tacky layer on it. So if you see any kind of residue on my fingers when I wipe it, it's not because of the lamp, it's because of the 24 karat gold does cure with a tacky surface. And I decided to just put a lint-free wipe in there and lay that little swatch stick in there to go ahead and cure for me. Tried to keep that swatch stick under that light so it didn't interfere with the curing process, so I can show you guys how much this stuff costs. So that little flash cure thing is $19.99. It's very affordable and so super cute. Those 2-piece foam holders for gel polish or whatever, extremely affordable. And then you have the Votino's Shine It and the Chrome Base, and those are both going to run you $14.99. But like I said, they've reformulated the Shine It, so depending on how you were using it before, it may not function the same way as before. So I'm going to be testing it out in the future to see what uses it has or doesn't. But you can see that cured beautifully, just a regular tacky surface. So I'm loving this little lamp. I can keep it plugged in. I can hang it up right next to my desk, and it's right there anytime I need it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Smash that like button for me if you did, and comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.